Welcome back to Strange Monkey Reviews, horror freaks. Today we're taking a look at Black Phone 2, directed by Scott Derrickson, and starring Mason Thames, Madeline McGraw, Jeremy Davis, Damian Bashir, Miguel Mora, and of course, Ethan Hawke returns as the Grabber. So the plot this time centers around Gwen, now 15 years old, and she's being tormented by bad dreams. She's receiving calls from the Black Phone, and she keeps seeing visions of 3 boys being stalked at a winter camp. Her brother Finn is right there with her, and the two, along with their friend Ernesto, decide to investigate. That investigation leads them right back into the terrifying world of the Grabber, who has become even more powerful in death. Now, first off, the acting, there's no complaints from me at all. Everyone shows up and does their job very well. Mason and Madeline have really grown into their characters, and Ethan Hawke continues to deliver this creepy, unsettling presence. Another nice touch in this sequel is the return of Miguel Mora as Ernesto, Robin's younger brother from the first film. His inclusion actually works really well. It isn't forced or thrown in just for nostalgia. Ernesto becomes an important emotional connection for Gwen and Finn, especially because of his history with Robin and the trauma their families still carry. He naturally fits into the mystery at the winter camp, helping the siblings make sense of the visions, the phone calls, and what the Grabber is trying to do. Ernesto adds heart to the story and gives the film another grounded character who understands the danger long before anyone else does. Acting-wise, the cast is solid. The dream sequences are really done very well. I like the transition to the 16mm with the graininess during those dream sequences. They worked. They had a purpose. But I will admit, at first, they do come off as a bit confusing until the movie explains what's going on. One of the strongest parts of this movie has to be the atmosphere. That eerie, freezing, cold Rocky Mountain setting. It absolutely works. You can feel the isolation and the chill, and it just gives the movie this uncomfortable heaviness. There are some legit creepy moments here. The Grabber's supernatural presence is intense, and the way he stalks his victims from beyond the grave gives the film some really effective scares. But I can also understand why people say this movie is copying A Nightmare on Elm Street. Because yeah, the Grabber can now attack Gwen in her dreams. That's very Freddy Krueger-like energy. But the difference is the Grabber can also still use the phone to communicate, just like other spirits. That combination is unique to this franchise. So it really comes down to personal taste. You're either going to like that new direction, or you're not. Now, speaking of the phone, this part had me confused a little in the beginning. In the first movie, the reason those spirits could communicate was because they were connected to that specific house, that phone, that place where everything happened. So when part 2 suddenly has spirits communicating through phones in brand new locations, it feels weird at first. But as the movie goes on, they finally explain why it's happening, and it does make sense in the context of the sequel. The main issue I had with Black Phone 2 is the pacing. This movie takes way too long to get to its point, and yes, they tried new things. I respect that. They clearly wanted to build out more lore, more depth, and expand on the Grabber's world. But a lot of that information they added, we didn't really need it. Instead of pushing the story forward, it sometimes felt like we were just being fed extra detail to stretch things out. So in the end, the film is entertaining. It absolutely has moments that work. But does it elevate everything to the next level like it's trying to? No, not really. So with that being said, Black Phone 2 is alright. What did you guys think of Black Phone 2? Let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to subscribe and click on that notification bell. Follow me on all my social media platforms and have yourselves yourselves a good fright.